facers, we facing ghosts, when others will not, we're ghosts. Ghost facers, stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. Ghosts, ghost facers, we facing nightmare, we facing dread. Ghosts, ghost facers, we facing faceless, we facing dead.
Welcome to Ghost Facers Fan Expo. How many Supernatural fans do we have out there? Love to hear it.
Yeah.
That's right. Today we're discussing Season 8, Episode 11. If you don't know it by name, it's LARP and the Real Girl. How many people know that episode? That's right. My name is Richard, and next to me is Mr. Vanier, Reed Vanier.
Hello.
And we are joined today by the amazing Canada's drag star, Juicebox.
Hi.
Give a hands up for that Juicebox.
I love nerds.
I'm so happy to have you here. We haven't seen each other like in person. We did the math right before we walked in here. It was almost like 20 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I was only like 2 years old.
You were just a sweet little baby.
I was just a little baby.
Yeah, the cops are going to be coming to take me away now. I'm so happy. You're just, God, you got so gorgeous and buff. And
Thank you.
And
Me
you're-
and Richard used to work at the same mall when he was, do you guys remember MySpace? Is anybody here old enough for MySpace?
yeah.
Richard looked like the perfect like MySpace star, and he was like super skinny with the like emo hair. And
Now I'm
all-
the thing that ate him.
Yeah. And then every single girl and me was always, every time he'd walk by, we'd be like, oh my God.
I believe you called me the hot guy that knew he was hot because I'd come into your store and look at the mirror.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he did that a lot.
Yeah, I'm only worse now, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's insufferable.
Yeah, you were hot too.
I was, but time ravages us all.
I am so excited. So we've had Juicebox on a few times to talk about Supernatural. Now, Juice, have you done the full series? I can't remember. Did you jump off at some point?
I fell off when it got like really religious-y.
Sure.
Yeah, when it got super
Like season
Supernatural?
2.
No, okay, it wasn't like I think I fell off around like season like 9 or 10.
Sure.
It was getting a little bit much for me, but I think I'll jump back on.
How many of you have
eventually.
watched the full series? Love that.
Whoa.
How many of you jumped off at like season 5, 6? Yeah. There's a few of you. I know who you are. You Kripke stans.
Oh yeah, I was a Kripke girl.
Yeah, like I
Sorry.
get it. Look, Sarah's great, but it wasn't for everybody. We love the gambles though, right? So today we are talking about LARP and the Real Girl, one of my favorite episodes. Obviously, we have Felicia Day in this episode.
Yeah.
We love Charlie, right? So this episode aired January 23rd, 2013.
Oh.
Where were you on January 3rd, 2013?
His name was Richard.
Oh, not me.
Oh yeah, my husband's name's Richard. That
yeah,
joke
yeah.
didn't land. Oh
No,
shit.
no, but it makes sense. I mean, you
Yeah,
found me, couldn't have me. You
I
found the
know.
closest
I had
thing.
to find another Richard with a beard and dark hair.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Is he also as self-conscious as I am?
Self-conscious?
Yeah.
We got 45 minutes. We can't unpack all of this.
This is airing live, right?
Yeah.
I've got Richard on the line. Tell me.
Yeah.
January 23rd. What about you?
Oh, sorry, January 23rd?
Yeah.
Like, I know the difference.
I was like,
20
yeah,
days
no.
difference.
23rd, not 22nd.
In 2013?
Yeah.
I'm living in Montreal. I'm in a dark place at a dark time of year.
Yeah, maybe in an alleyway somewhere in a car.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Look, you had a great time of your youth. You made full advantage of it. So this episode was written by Robbie Thompson, not Rob Thomas.
Not Rob Thomas.
Yeah, no.
Not the smooth guy.
No. I do like that yesterday, speaking of smooth guys, there's a guy around here that's dressed as Michael Jackson, but he's not like the best Michael Jackson outfit. Not that I think you should be going for the best version of Michael Jackson, but you saw him and went, oh, rough criminal.
It was such a mean thought to have.
Very funny, though. Absolutely. So this episode was directed by Jeannot Zwark.
Oh, cool.
I know, very French director. Very good. And viewed by an estimated, I'm so happy for season 8. It went back up.
Oh, where are we at?
We are in 2.01 million viewers.
Last season dipped way down.
Yeah, big surprise.
Leviathan season?
Yeah. Look, how many of you are Leviathan stans? Anybody out there like the Leviathans? Oh my God, it's gonna go dead quiet. Oh
God.
no,
No, you
Leviathans!
You are
Yeah.
Knuff. Good.
It's cheesy. It's good. It's fun. We liked it. So this episode's called LARP and the Real Girl. The weirdest like title to.
It's a weird thing to reference. This
Yeah.
Lars and the Real
But
Girl.
I am Knuff that it is a Ryan Gosling movie.
A Ryan Gosling, like, in love with a doll movie.
You know,
specifically, yeah.
You know that genre?
Yeah, exactly.
So the name plays on the movie Lars and the Real Girl from 2007. Again, a
Right.
timely reference as well.
Totally.
So we've got two different titles from the international titles section. So we've got Hungary and
Okay.
Germany.
So what was this called in Germany?
No, so
sorry,
Hungary's
Hungary
first.
first?
Yeah, Hungary's first.
I think Hungary called this one like park make believe time.
No, Hungary called this role players.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's cute.
okay.
Yeah, that's good. I don't mind.
Pretty
it's
direct. Yeah.
It's not. It's the longest thing. You have to see how this is written. That's what Hungary
Oh my
called
god,
it.
that's how you.
Yeah, there's 23 letters.
And is that just role players?
Yes.
Yeah.
That long? Can you show them?
It was-
Yeah. Can you guys see this?
It's 23 letters long and there are 2 vowels.
Yes,
Yeah.
and an accent, 2 accents actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called an
It's
accent in
definitely not,
Hungary,
yeah.
but accent aigu in Hungarian. And then the German title.
The German title for LARP and the Real Girl. What is the point of make believe?
No, kind of worse. The German title is Bloody Game.
Oh.
Oh.
That's like Chris Isaac's song.
Bloody Game or Bloody Dame?
Game.
Game with a G?
Yeah, D would be good though.
Well, I was like, there's no Bloody Dame. It makes no sense. But
Well, yeah,
Bloody
I
Game
guess.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
There's just a couple bloody dames in that tent, though.
Oh, God. Oof.
It's just a fun game. We're all having fun in games. Just because there's blood doesn't mean it's not a good time for everyone. That's
good German, yeah.
That's pretty good, right? So, featured music from this episode, we have China Grove by the Doobie Brothers, which I think is just played for like 2 seconds inside the car.
Just at the beginning of the episode, yeah.
Absolutely. And TV Guide describes this episode as 2 people die mysteriously during a role-playing game. Not true. They don't die during the role-playing game. They die
true.
after. Later, a dangerous ferry must be stopped.
Also, only kind of partially true.
Yeah. It's kind of not the ferry's fault.
Yeah.
Also, spoiler.
I mean, yeah, TV Guide's
The
notorious.
TV Guide descriptions always give away
Yeah, I
the
was like,
twist
that's
of the
like
episode.
right at the end of the episode.
We also found out that it's the show that gives them the descriptions for the episodes.
So they're writing their
Stupid.
own spoilers.
Yeah, they're not great for it. But before we talk about today's episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Yeah, let's see what the lore says about fairy magic.
Hey!
Yeah.
We're not allowed to say that anymore, I think.
No. So a lot of like the fairy magic that we talk about on Supernatural is like the Celtic fairies and stuff like that, like the
Sure.
fae folk, right?
Yeah.
No,
You got to fight those fairies, right?
Well, the idea generally was that like the first Celts came to the island and basically like displaced the fairy folk, like won a war with them, and then they had to like retreat to the boundaries of reality.
White people going somewhere and displacing people?
It's
I
essentially
never saw that coming.
Doesn't add up.
It's
Yeah.
colonialism. But yeah, so a lot of fairy magic has to do with like nature and glamours and illusions and stuff like that.
Sounds fun as hell.
And even the other kind of like pieces of magic usually involve that. So there's a lot of like in this episode, there's a lot of like tree stuff. Like hawthorn trees are supposed to be very,
Tree stuff.
like,
Those are some of my keywords.
hawthorn trees are supposed to be very like magical and stuff like that. Ash trees, oak trees, they all have like kind of different purposes. And then there's also a thing, I never remember what it's called.
No. Say it.
Well, I don't remember what it's called, but there's an idea is if you find, it's a kind of stone where if it erodes properly, there's like a hole in the middle of a stone. And that's supposed to be in
glory
like fairy
hole?
magic. If you like look
What's
through
that?
it, you can look through glamours.
Oh,
like you
pretty.
Oh, I have heard about this. Yeah, you can look through and see the fairy world.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so
Like
nice.
if they use illusions in that, you find one of those rocks, you can hold it up. You can
If you
see
find that in a
through
bathroom, don't
illusions.
look through it.
Look through it.
Yeah.
I'll be on the other side.
Yeah, the fairy hole, we'll call it.
Oh no, that feels like it was offensive.
No, it makes sense.
You're supposed
Melt's
to
a melt. No, I gotta stop.
you're supposed to find like entrances to the fairy world in all sorts of places, like in like knots of trees or in caves or in
Wardrobes.
in things like that. But generally speaking, fairy magic is like tied to the earth. It's tied to like spirituality of like living things and plants and things that grow and stuff.
Oh, is that like the wizard in Lord of the Rings that's in the woods?
Radagast the Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a cool thing to say here.
Hey, do you know what? No, let's talk about Lord of the Rings.
No, not.
But yeah, so just like this episode, it's a lot of fairy magic is based on like trees and things like that.
That's amazing. I love that the fairy magic sort of like. I think we've seen a little bit of it on the show so far, but not a ton.
No, we saw Leprechauns. That was the episode with the doctor from Voyager.
That's right.
He was on there. Yeah.
It's a doctor who fucks, right?
No, surely not.
No, they don't teach him how to love on DS9, or
No, he falls in love, but he doesn't end up happy.
oh,
Oh.
preach. Anyways, that's too dark. Let's talk about my divorce. Yeah.
Yay. Oh.
All right. Why don't we get into today's episode then?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. No. Let's
Please.
change subjects.
Good lord.
Okay. How many of you love this episode as much as we do? Yeah. Great
Yeah.
episode.
We get Dorky Dean. I love Dorky
Oh
Dean.
my god, I
I
can't
get
wait.
so excited.
I know.
I love it when he's excited
Me
about a
too.
thing. It
I love
happens
when
so
he's-
rarely.
I know, it's so wholesome and
Yeah.
sweet.
All right, let's start talking about it then.
All right.
So we have a young accountant, Ed, arguing over the phone with his friend Lance about cheating in their game.
Yeah.
The one rule with LARPing.
Well, yeah, he's like, I didn't cheat. We both like made compromises to get close to the queen.
Yeah, we have a polyamorous game. It's fine. It's not cheating.
Cool, man.
Unseen by Ed, Lance then texts threatening messages of revenge
Yeah.
as Ed wakes up with a burning sensation. I mean, been there.
Same.
On his arm, that tattoos a logo of a mysterious tree. You've got a mysterious tree tattooed on your
I
leg.
do. Got the tree of Gondor, but this is the tree of pain. We come to learn later.
That's right.
And he gets like ghost drawn and quartered, like ropes on his wrists and ankles.
It was
and he gets-
hot for like 2 seconds, and then it got not
and-
good.
Yeah, and then it wasn't. It's a cool.
Isn't
like,
that always the case? They didn't have a safe word. That was
It's
the
a
problem.
good classic supernatural blood splatter as he gets like pulled apart. I think.
We love like a beginning of the cold open blood splatter on Supernatural. It's always the best ones.
I almost wish it was a little gorier though. Like I wanted to see the full body after.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
guess we don't. You're right.
Yeah, we
Well,
do see like the actual like body like that's like the covers over top of it.
Yeah.
But
No,
they took the legs away, I think.
No, you could still see the legs when he walks away on the floor being covered.
Right.
But like I wanted like no blankets on it.
Yeah. Sure.
I wanted to see the rip.
Oh, good lord.
I don't want to know what your keywords are.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he suddenly hears galloping horses. Here's the thing that I always thought was
Yeah.
funny, which is later in the episode we find out that like the neighbor heard galloping horses.
Yes,
because
yeah.
usually it's like you don't see like it's only for the person who's going through the thing that the magic.
They're the
thing-
only one that gets like the hallucination. or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Because
Right.
but then the fact that it's like but also there's not enough space for those horses to be in there.
Well, but it's not ghosts because they don't read EMF or anything.
But then
later.
why hear horses?
Great question. Because the fairy has a flair for the theatrical.
I'm here for it, then.
She's
That's
a
fine.
fairy.
Yeah.
She's fabulous. I like it. Elsewhere, Dean notices that Sam's mood seems off and invites him to forget his troubles with a night of fun before Garth tells them where with the case is.
Yeah, Garth is like becoming the new Bobby at this point. He's starting to assign cases to hunters.
Though
He's
he-
been tracking them and their GPS and stuff.
Which is slightly creepy that they didn't know that was happening, but
Yeah, but
who,
classic Garth.
who loves Garth, right? Garth is the best, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Oh.
I think that actor came out recently too, which I love.
Nice.
There's also when Garth says that he's been tracking them, the way he says it is he tells Sam that they've been
Garthed.
Yeah. Which just means followed surreptitiously, I guess.
Absolutely. But I do love the idea of like Dean's night of fun, but especially like season 8, because I mean we've lost fun Dean forever. Like
Yeah.
he is no longer the Dean of like the douchebag Dean of season 1.
Yeah.
Like this Dean is like his night of fun is like drink sadly somewhere, listen
Yeah.
to blues, and then like go back home. Like
Yes.
I don't know, like he's like maybe we'll go to one bar or two, which does feel like a thing that at our age we say. It's like you guys want a night of fun, maybe we'll go to one bar, maybe even two.
Truly, my wife and I went on a vacation to Vancouver, and we were like, tonight, let's go to more than one bar. that was the escalation of our trip. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We got here on Thursday. I had a few too many drinks at Bar Chef, and I'm still nursing a hangover. It's not happening. I know you guys have been making fun of me all day for this. It's fine. I'm a soft boy. I'm a double water sign. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, let's keep going.
Yeah. So later, Sam and Dean enter Ed's apartment. I wish I was Sam. The summer of Sam. I mean,
I wish you were Sam too.
yeah. Look, given the right circumstances.
Yeah.
So they enter Ed's apartment in their FBI disguises, and we meet the best cop of all time.
This cop is so dismissive. He's like, this guy lives alone. You can tell from all the toys he's got. I mean, we're talking about this episode at like Fan Expo too. It's like this episode is like, oh God, who would be into this stuff?
But they find no sense of anything paranormal, except for Sam somehow knows. He lifts up the thing and immediately finds a tattoo and assumes it's weird.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a tree. He wouldn't have that. Yeah. Look at this room. He wouldn't be cool enough to get a tattoo.
A guy into a bunch of fantasy stuff wouldn't have any tattoos on his own. Yeah.
There's no possible way that would happen. A guy with a sword on the wall, there's no way he has a tattoo.
No, this nerd doesn't have any pain tolerance.
Yeah.
This cop is so dismissive, though, too. He's like, yeah, the neighbor said she heard horses, but I bet she's just crazy.
Yeah, he literally was like, maybe it was a TV, or she was nuts.
Yeah.
I think he called her high as balls at one point.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
The craziest part is in other episodes, the cops go like, it was open and shut. This person like did it to themselves or something. But in this one, the cop knows it's weird. He's like, there's no signs of forced entry, and this guy was pulled apart by horses.
But what are you gonna do?
But
cops, am I right?
I'm pretty sure this thing will solve itself.
He almost seemed like relieved that they were there because he's like, this is fucking crazy. I don't want to fuck it.
Yeah, no. This is on you guys. The FBI, here's all of the things. I do like that in a lot of TV shows, though. It's like the FBI shows up and they're like, this is my case. It's not your jurisdiction. They're like, please.
Yeah, he was like, bye, see you later. I'm gonna go eat. Get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got to find those Duke boys based on the way that guy looked.
Yeah, he does look like that.
He did say, look, this is open and shut. We found this guy's text messages. He does say a few weird things, but most of it's just threatening.
Yeah, it's like he's like, there's a lot of texts about I'm the most powerful mage ever. You know, we followed up with the guy. He also lives alone. Big surprise.
Well, I mean, he was like, he probably did it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So we go down to the station and interview this guy, Lance.
Yeah.
Though the man reveals that the threatening texts were from his character, this LARPing character from Moondoor.
I've got a thing I got to say about this.
I was waiting for this.
I am 100% on board with the idea that this guy sent texts as his LARP character.
Yeah.
The thing that's crazy is that he's been hauled in for police questioning and he's still acting like his character. He's like, I'm a very powerful mage. And he's like, isn't that impressive? He's like waiting for them to like be part of it. He's like, surely a level of reality has to set in at some point. Like this episode portrays him like he can't tell the difference. Like,
but
the episodes ends up having a lot of fun with LARPing, but the early bit is like, these people, like,
we'll show you the cool shit, but just so we're starting off, you guys suck.
It's got a weird angle on it,
Which this show like always loves to do that. I think like one of the best things about the show is that it like constantly is going like, we get you. Don't love it too much though.
The show is. It's got a weird relationship with that.
So the guy starts crying, and he has all these excuses, and he's like, at the end of the day, like he's like, I wasn't there. I was at this big party. You can go on our website. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got a website. And so they go on there, find out that he was there. But not only did they find out that he was at that party, but Charlie is the queen.
Yeah. How do you feel about Charlie, Juice, as a character?
I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I love a hot nerd. But I also love a hot nerd that like kind of knows they're hot.
Yeah.
Right? Like she walks around like she is just like God's gift and she's raking in. Can I say bad words?
I mean, you've already said it so many times.
She is raking in pussy in this episode. And you can tell, like she sees girls and she's like, sup. And I'm like, oh, work, bitch.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, a big part of it for me is that she would have no time for me.
Well, she's a lesbian in the show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about being at a convention and still knowing none of the women will talk to us.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. But it's funny because I think that she was brought onto that show initially just because she was like not even really going to be doing that much acting anymore. She was sort of moving on because we all know Felicia Day does a million things, and so but then somebody sent her the script and she was like, oh, I absolutely need to do this first episode, and then everyone fell in love with her.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love Felicia Day, right? Like, so good. While they're having this conversation, Sam and Dean are talking, and the tree then burns itself into Lance's arm, and blood spurts everywhere out of the office.
Well, because he like coughs up blood, and then it starts like coming out of his eyes and stuff, and he's screaming. And then when we like come back from commercial, the police captain or whatever is like, you're gonna want to see this crazy video. So like in the locked like questioning room, he witnesses a guy like spontaneously bleed to death, and he goes, FBI's where I'm now. And he's just like, that's like his number one goal is like, as long as I'm not filling out the forms.
I mean, look at the guy. He doesn't spend a lot of time on duty, I think.
No, I think he was gonna go hit the
If anything,
links.
he was looking at him like he's patient 0 and he's about to go to the hospital.
That's right. He did say that. He was
Yeah.
I God, what a naive world that they used to be in.
But he also says he just goes, thankfully he's not contagious. You don't know that. He goes, I'm going to dip myself in hand sanitizer, but there's no other protocols activated. Like in the world where he's like, he must have been sick. They don't do anything.
He exploded in this room, but I wasn't there at that exact time, so it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, but the pre-COVID world we used to live in.
No.
So with no other evidence, the only thing that we know that ties these guys together is LARPing, so they're going to go to the LARP.
Yeah.
I love this set. I mean, this is so fun.
I will say I've never gotten involved with a LARP thing of that scale.
Has
but-
anybody here done any LARPing? Show of hands, anything?
Cool, nice.
A little few, yeah.
Have
That's awesome.
any of them
shy.
ever had this kind of production value? Like
No.
Charlie's
No.
Queen tent has like a bed and like these big ornate like oak pieces of furniture and stuff.
I love that. So
Yeah.
good.
It's amazing. I would definitely participate in something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, 100%. If that's what LARPing was, yeah, 1,000%.
That looks fun as hell. Yeah.
I feel like drag, and I'm a drag. For those of you that don't know, I'm a drag queen. I just don't look like it right now.
Yeah, the most amazing drag
Thank
queen
you, I
in
appreciate
Canada.
that. I like when my friends are delusional about my talents. It's really nice. But I feel like drag in itself is LARPing because in my mind,
Sure.
I am a famous pop singer. Like that is
Right.
just what I exist as.
I mean, sometimes you are.
oh, I do not sing.
Oh, sure. But you were Baby Spice for a while?
I was Baby Spice for a while, and in my mind, I was Baby Spice.
Right.
You know, so like drag is essentially LARPing. So I have LARPed more than any of you.
That's fun though. That's a good point. I didn't even think of
Juice
that.
box. Can we speak to Baby Spice right now?
Are you doing like inside the actors?
Yeah, exactly.
studio? Yeah.
So they show up, and Boltar the Furious is putting this very sweet, what is he?
Shadow orc?
Yeah,
He's a
shadow
shadow
orc. Is that a thing? Is
Yeah.
a shadow orc a thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's not a daytime orc. Is that-
Is this have it? Yeah, there's this thing that says here. I mean, it's probably what it's about, but we looked at it and it says Nightwalkers, and we're like, you mean just regular vampires? I don't think you need to call them that.
I like the sparkly ones.
I know, they're so pretty. But yeah, so Boltar immediately sees through their FBI disguises, calls them out.
It's like a little unsettling. He's like, yeah, your fake badges. He's like, they moved to a 10-digit serial number with letters at the end.
It's slightly scary that a guy like that knows that much about the way the
I
criminal
think
system
you're like
works.
immediately on a watch list if you know too much
Yeah.
about how the police identify themselves.
Nowadays, he'd be on a Discord server with way too much information.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean our Discord server? Yeah.
He'd be the Riddler.
We then go. We decide we're going to try to become part of this LARP, and so we're going to go see
Because he's
the
like,
Queen.
he's like, we're not doing like cross-genre stuff this weekend. Like, you can't be time-traveling cops who found your way.
Which I
here.
do love that concept.
I do too.
I mean, Loki
actually.
kind of did that.
Well,
Literally.
Sam does in the tent later, like the tech tent that has a sign that says "Portal to the Future."
Yes.
which is great. But
So cute.
but Dean takes the opportunity to dress up and have fun because we love dorky Dean.
Oh my God, how much we love Dorky Dean, right? Also, so hot.
Oh, I was waiting for my opportunity to say it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
hotter in that outfit.
Oh,
I
when
think.
he put the chainmail on, I was like,
It's
I
something
wish it
about
was
it being
Sam.
like slightly asymmetrical
Oh,
too.
I think we need to figure this out. Okay, how many of you are Dean fans? Okay, and how many Sams?
my people.
It's always more aggressive for the Sams.
Sam fans, the few, the proud.
We once had a guest on this podcast that said you were either a Dean girl or you were a lesbian, which I really liked.
That was her opinion of that. Yeah.
Which
Am
I
I a
always think is
lesbian?
very
I'm
funny.
a Sam girl, but I think it's just because he's so tall.
Yeah. And he's sweet,
Yeah, and I want to feel
except
like
when he doesn't have a soul.
I mean, the soul is Sam. I
Yeah.
mean, the summer of Sam.
hot.
Good Lord, that man gets jacked in every kind of way throughout the
know,
series.
he's gigantic.
It's, God, what a
I would
powerful
feel so
meat
small
stick.
and petite.
Yeah.
So Sam goes to
Anyways.
the tech tent to use a computer so he could do Sam stuff, research.
Yeah.
While Dean goes on to do the fun stuff, as usual.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a big argument with Charlie about wanting to do this, and she was like, "You guys found me. Like now you're gonna make me like have to move again. Like I don't want to have to deal with this." But they do convince her that she's the queen. She needs to protect her people, right?
Yeah.
So she then needs to walk Dean through this new camp life, catching up on everything that they've been going through, investigating the symbol. Sam finds that the symbol is actually the Tree of Pain.
Yeah.
And then aggressively gets hit on. I mean, you were saying, I think, Juice, on the way, and like this is the horny episode.
Well, the other 2 episodes you've had me on, I tend to say something a little off
You?
filter. Me. So I tend to say something a little bit gross, and then they give me this episode, and I'm like, this is the horniest episode I've ever seen.
It is.
But I feel like it makes sense because nerds are the horniest people I've ever met.
Yeah, we are.
So it's just like, at one point, this girl just straight up looks at him, and she's just like, that was really different. And if you come to my tent later, you can always try a first for something or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, work, bitch, go on.
Yeah.
Like, just so bold.
Also, while they're in there, if you don't see in the tech tent, they're actually playing Dragon Age 2. The scene where that Felicia Day voiced the character, they're showing her scenes and that.
That's fun.
Yeah, super fun.
I like that.
So they find the symbol, then they have a conversation with the captive Shadow Orc, Dean does, and reveals that the Shadow King has also been using the symbol as his family crest. So they're like, we've got a connection to this tattoo.
Yeah.
We're going
we
to go
have
after
to go
them.
find the Shadow Orcs. Here's the thing I love about how elaborate this LARP is. I don't know how big this park is. They've got all these enormous tents, but also they're like, we don't know where the Shadow Orcs are. Like they were setting up for the weekend. We're like, we have no idea what they are. They're like off in the woods.
Hell yeah.
I think it's so funny. I mean, truly, if this was real, I would love to be part of it.
This does sound cool. That's also like the oh my God, the supernatural LARP that we got in the previous like LARPing episode. How many of you would love to do a like supernatural LARP where you get to pretend to be the characters? Yeah. Good, we're doing it tonight. No.
There's been a gruesome murder in Hall F, and you have to.
So they meet Boltar in the wood. This fucking cuck. And
Boltar is so aggressive and angry. He really hates when people are breaking the illusion.
yes.
He's like one of the only people saying like pause, resume. Like he has to like really,
Game off.
Yeah, he's really like
Car.
delineating. Yeah, exactly.
We do get that at the end, but yeah. So he's like, look. He's like, I'll take your handmaiden, and we send the queen back because they're like, go find Sam, see what he's got. Charlie, you go. I'll go with this dick, and we'll find the Shadow Orc King. So they separate, but as Charlie's leaving, she gets kidnapped.
Well, first Charlie gets like cornered in the woods by one of like the Shadow Orc LARPers.
Yeah.
And she dodges his beanbag and throws one and goes, dark magic? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, it burns! And he runs off into the woods.
So fun. Again,
which
would
is
love to do
amazing.
this.
Looks super
And then she turns around, there's like someone dressed in all black with like a elk skull or something like that. And she does it again, throws the beanbag of dark magic, and then gets kidnapped.
And this thing was not into the game.
Yeah.
No.
So Sam and Dean eventually end up back, and they can't find Charlie, so they realize something bad has happened, right? So they decide they're going to go find the Shadow Orcs in the woods together with Boltar and Sam and Dean's gun.
And yeah, when they get out there, Dean is like, it's been fun to like play a bit, but like someone's life's actually dangerous. And Dean pulls out a gun,
Shoots it on the ground.
Immediately, everyone's like, the game's not worth it. And like they're like, there's a tent we didn't set up. Or tell anyone about. And so they go down to the river, and there's this like nondescript tent that has like TARDIS rules. It's a lot bigger on the inside than
Also,
what it looks like.
it is scary. It has like tiki torches outside.
And it's just like a plain tent, but on the inside it's like well appointed. It's very nice.
It is quite well appointed. Yes.
It's like 5-star, I would say.
I'd stay there.
Yeah.
So they end up. Charlie wakes up there and finds out that scary horned thing is in there waiting for her.
Yeah.
She approaches this thing and is like, hey, don't kill me. That would be chill. And they decide that it's actually a super hot lady.
Full face of makeup and a pink lip gloss on, which I really appreciated.
Which is canonical to Celtic fairies.
Yes, very canonical. Most fairies I've seen. fully painted for the back row.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So this fairy like talks about how she
doesn't want to kill
she
people,
doesn't
but
want
she's
to
been
kill
forced
people,
to.
but she's like bound by magic by someone that found this like convenient Celtic spell book and has like summoned her and trapped her. So she needs Charlie to find the book and destroy it so that she's not forced to kill people anymore.
But they touch hands and it's on.
And then they're like, it can wait.
Yeah. Sam and Dean walk in and she's like, bro.
Yeah. Like
This is
what
happening.
I said earlier, raking it in.
Yeah, truly.
Like
Like
she's who you want to take to the bar.
Because she's mad that she gets blocked.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah.
She's just like,
I'm
I'll
not
die.
threatened anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine. But she gets annoyed, and they eventually, Gilda recoils in horror at the sight of Boltar's with them.
Yeah, and it was Boltar the whole time, the guy that took it too seriously.
Yeah, the guy that did it all because he wanted to be with a girl and is into fantasy stuff. Maybe took it too seriously.
He took it too seriously. Once again, the show is like, these people don't understand reality.
Yeah.
Like,
but you guys like our show, right?
you know, it's so silly for the show to have that perspective.
Absolutely. But they were like, why did you start murdering people for this? And Boltar explains that Ed and Lance secured their place in the Queen's honored guard by paying off other players with real money instead of the Moondoor currency.
And he has this big, like, kind of explosion thing where he's like, there is no game. There's only Moondoor. This is the only place where I'm, like, not a loser or whatever.
Cuck.
Or that, yeah, a crazy thing to call someone. And then he forces the fairy to, like, he has a fake sword and he's like,
Make it real.
Fairy, make it real. And so now he has a real sword and Dean has to fight him, which is great.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to kill you guys, wipe Charlie's memory, and then I can go back to trying to woo her in a cool, chill way.
Yeah, it's super messed up.
Yeah.
Another straight guy trying to turn a lesbian. So normal. I hate it.
Dean manages to knock the Book of Spells out of Boltar's robes, and Charlie does the Harry Potter like book stab thing.
I really
Oh,
thought
yeah,
she
yeah.
was going to throw it in the fire.
I
There
know,
was
they set up a fire.
It
In-
makes more sense.
enormous roaring fire right next to the book, and she's like, but it's more dramatic if I stab it.
Yeah.
With a real knife that guy also had, apparently, because he's like, you took my knife. But it's like,
No,
we
I
made
think
the
he
story
looked
real.
because she took the book. The book was like,
book
Oh, that
flew
makes more
out.
sense. Sure.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
But yeah, with this letter opener or knife or whatever, she stabs the book and it breaks the fairy spell. And Dean like backhand slaps the guy unconscious, which is kind of amazing.
Oh, I absolutely love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And so afterwards, Charlie explains that the brothers, that she no longer intends to run from her problems, and they can call her if they ever intend to keep going forward and need her help, which is awesome. But she also, to the fairy, she's like, what's up? And she's like, I got to go back to my place. And you kind of can't come this time. But she does say a great previous year cultural reference. She says, call me maybe.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen. Also, has anybody listened to the new Carly Rae Jepsen album? It came out the same day as the Taylor Swift Midnights, and it's so good.
Bad planning.
Yeah,
Wow.
not a great choice, but we love Carly Rae Jepsen, right? Canadian girl. Yeah.
You are
There were a
soft
lot
woman.
more Sam fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we know what podcast this is.
We know what side our bread is buttered.
Yeah. As Charlie leaves, Dean apologizes to Sam for thinking a harmless bit of fun could get him over Amelia. Yeah, because Dean did a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
But Sam has an idea for what just might bring them some fun.
Yeah, they decide that they're going to join Charlie's army because all the people that had died were in Charlie's army, and the LARP continues. Like, people have been dying. We're not going to cancel this event. It took us forever to set up these tents.
No one's gonna mourn.
The game goes on.
Yes, and so Dean delivers the speech from Braveheart.
And Sam's like, it's the only one he knows.
And then,
great.
though there's a brief Frisbee interruption, which I like.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And after that interruption, that leads Sam, Charlie, and the fellow players into a battle on the opposing sides. And that is the end of this
That's
episode.
the end of the episode.
It's so
It's so
good.
fun.
They have a dedication.
They do. Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
they have the
For the fallen
dedication.
soldiers.
All the fallen like magi and fairies that all died
Yeah.
in this episode.
That's a great extra little piece. I really like this. Juice, what did you think about this episode? And what would you rank this out of 5?
I really like this episode. It's because I find with Supernatural you get those ones that are like kind of like breaks. Where
Right.
they're more like Monster of the Week and they're a little bit more
Yeah.
fun. You get
Right.
to see old
We're not worried about
characters.
talking like this the whole time. and,
Yeah. It's not just
Sam,
like
why did you lie to me?
it's just not like brooding hot guys for an hour.
Which, like, look, we love a brooding hot guy, right?
I love a
But
brooding hot guy.
everything in moderation, like
Yeah.
all good things.
But these ones kind of feel like the hot volleyball beach episode in an anime kind of thing, you know? Like there's always one of those before like a big fight.
Yeah.
Is that a thing in anime too, where it lasts 6 episodes to get through the game, or
Kind of. No, it's just like one
just
episode
waiting
where
for a
it's-
hit? Ugh!
nothing really happens and it's just like everybody goes to the beach and looks
Yeah.
hot. So anyways,
God, I
sorry,
love
that
that.
was off topic. But I really liked it.
Does that make Top Gun anime?
Yes.
Nice.
Now I like Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm in.
But I would say, especially because like all the references they do and how it's kind of like there's like high stakes to it, but it's kind of lighthearted. I would give it like a solid like 7.5 big muscly LARPing deans
Out of 5?
out of 10 brooding refuses to put on the hot night outfit. Sam's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not-
if we do the math, that's 4 out of 5.
well, there's 2
Oh, sorry,
Sams
I
to
did-
everyone, Dean.
I did like a 7 out of 10 kind of thing.
yeah, that's fine.
Is that fine?
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
Does it have to be a 5 scale?
They not. Guess what? This is like whose line it is anyway. The points don't matter.
Yeah, we don't submit these to anything.
Oh,
so,
okay, I'm not gonna get graded on it later.
Yeah, no,
okay,
no,
we're
no,
good.
it's
Good,
fine.
good.
Yeah. Everyone here is going to confront you afterwards.
Yeah.
What's the metric? What's 7 out of 10 to 4 out of 5?
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Well, you're starting
Can
to
I talk now?
Oh, such a good little sub.
I also like this episode, and I can't get enough of Charlie. We didn't mention it, but there's she does another Han Solo thing at the beginning, because when we meet her, or when Sam and Dean go to meet her at the camp,
Yeah.
she's like training squires, so that we see these 2 knights fighting, and she like takes off her helmet and has this big kind
So
of
great.
moment. And then there's a "I love you, I know," just
Oh, great
just
Star
like
Wars
the last
reference.
time
We love that.
saw her, which is a ton of fun. I love a dorky Dean. I love a Dean that is like, do I get to do the? Do I get? 'Cause
We get him way more in the later half of the series too. Like you get more and more and more of like
Totally.
Dorky Dean. I love it.
because even when Sam's like, should we stay and LARP? Dean's like, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, if that's cool.
like trying to play it so cool, and I love that. I think Jensen plays that really well. Yeah, I mean, Sam is being Sam in this episode, which is fine. But
we stick him in a computer thing. He's fine.
he's like, I refuse to have a good time. No, I think it's a good episode. To the stakes thing, it's the episode, because it's a fun episode. They don't worry too much about the things we would usually worry about,
Yeah.
which is like a person got pulled apart by nothing in their apartment. Like normally, you'd be some follow-up, but instead we have the cop that's like, not my problem.
And also, they're not FBI agents, so it's literally no one's problem.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no one follows up. There's no solace for the families.
No,
Like, they don't go
goodness.
meet them later and be like, it was fairy magic. Like, no one sits down with the
In
families.
fact, they had a pulled pork sandwich after, which I thought was out of bad
Yeah.
taste.
Oh, did they?
No.
Oh, I was like, I watched this episode like an hour ago. I missed that.
Speaking of pulling apart.
Ew.
Good lord.
So what did you give this?
I would give this episode, I'm going to give this 5. They can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedoms out of 5.
You know what? I
Yeah.
mean, that statement was a lot cooler before January 6th.
And before Mel
Oh.
Gibson. Yeah, that statement's aged poorly in a couple of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite episodes. Anytime Charlie shows up, it's great. Anytime Dean gets to be a dork, we love that. I think that showing showing different sides of dorkdom, I think, is like the best. I mean, it's the reason why we love cons, right? Like, we get to be all of our types of dork, which is the best.
You can clap.
Absolutely. Yeah. We know what we are. Come on. I keep running up to all the Daleks in town and I keep showing them my Dalek tattoo and being like, this, you're that, right? And they're like, thank you.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
Appreciate.
Go away, Dirk. Virgin.
Could you, the gall to come to a con and do that?
Yeah, a little middle finger comes up as
So
it
then-
drives away.
So then what do you give this episode out of 5?
Gosh, I'm going to give this out of 5. I think I might give this a 5.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to give this 5 powerful mages out of 5.
Nice.
This
love
is out of a show of applause. Who loves this episode? I think it's like a 7.8. Yeah.
Yeah. Out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Yeah. Amazing.
We love this so much. Juicebox, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
this
you for
podcast. We
having
love
me.
Juicebox, right? Tell everybody where they can find you, what you've got going on. Do your plugs.
I am going to be on the 3rd floor bathroom in the 2nd stall to the right.
Oh, for the fairy hole?
Oh yeah, for the fairy hole. No, I'm. If you go to my socials, I have a link tree. You can find me everywhere. So I have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. My Twitter is just me shit posting most of the time. And I'm also on Twitch every Tuesday. Right now I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3.
So good. Oh my God, we need to talk about this
good.
after. But yes.
I am a half elf.
Half
noble,
what? What kind of half elf?
Drow.
Oh, nice.
But I'm half, so I have like a
I am too.
work.
Yeah.
I'm a
And I'm
human
like-
cleric. It's
I'm
pretty basic.
super tall and muscular, and I have an orange to black balayage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
God, that
and
is
I
hot.
picked penis B, if anybody's wondering.
I think I'm penis D.
Word.
Yeah.
I liked the like kind of.
We'll
I'm not
trade
gonna-
notes.
Yeah, we'll trade notes. But you
Yeah,
can if you
tell
go to
us
my
all
link
what
tree,
your
find me
penis
there,
size
yeah.
is.
Go to my link tree, find me there.
Bullshit, yeah.
But I really appreciate being on it. Thank you so much for having me, boys.
Absolutely.
Thank
Also, you got
you.
an incredible podcast that you've done live ones
Oh
for.
shit! Yeah. I have. If you guys like Drag Race or all things drag,
We love Drag Race, right?
Me and Cynthia Kiss from season 2 of Canada's Drag Race have a podcast called Semi-Qualified Queens. And if you like video games, ones you've played, ones you haven't played, I also have one called It's Dangerous to Go Alone with twitch.tv Flannel
So
Jacks,
good.
where we
Yeah.
review video games you might have played or might not have. It's just that shit. Anyways, bye.
And we are going to be at the Canadian Podcast Awards booth all afternoon today. Just downstairs. Come by, say hello.
Tell us what your build is on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, we want to know what you're playing.
Who's an E out there?
And check out our podcast if you're not already listening.
Ghostfacer's Supernatural Rewatch. We also have, if you're into DC comic books, we've got a DC podcast.
The Dr. DC podcast. We did a live show yesterday, so you can come talk to us about all sorts of nerdy things.
Thank you guys so much, and have a great
Yeah.
Fan Expo.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.